250. 250 subs. 250 subscribers. We did it. We did it. Anyhow, me, my toils, and then you, the response to such toils and reactions. So anyhow, 250 subs, 50,000 plus views. We hit 250 on 4/28/17, April 28th. So essentially 1 year and 12 days after I published my first video here on YouTube, way before I was had any reactions releasing, I think months before. So 381 days total, plus, you know, I was recording I think Steins Gate and Clanad prior to that, the months prior to that. Even I think I started with Steins Gate the year before, so the end of 2015, around there somewhere, with Steins Gate, and I forget where I started Clanad, but maybe after I did Steins Gate into 2016 at the start there. But anyhow, yet at that point we didn't find the reaction response until far later. I'm wearing a hat because my hair is crazy after a shower. But yeah, just quite simply, once again, a big thank you. Thank you for following me, my content, my videos, my reactions. I consider each of you a friend, and I will always be me, nothing less. Nothing less. I'm just going to always be me. I'm not going to sacrifice this or that. But anyhow, I want to also, before we get into a bunch of smaller topics, I want to say that because we hit 250, we got to celebrate, right? We got to celebrate. So I'll give you a slight teaser. So what's going to be brought about is the next movie reaction. It was waiting in the pipeline anyway. So, and if people want a hint, I'm not going to say what it is, but I'll give a hint. I thought it was my first, but it wasn't. It's my second Ghibli movie. Not Ghibli movie reaction, but Ghibli movie I have seen. So that's a bit of a hint. That should arrive Sunday, a bit earlier on, so folks can see it without me publishing something too late at night there. But anyhow, let's get into a bunch of just smaller topics. You know, this, 250, every step along the way, the more and more, the just more pressure there is, and you got to get used to that. It's just so vulnerable. The content you dish out, any reaction, any moment of any reaction, you could botch and mess something up so badly. I mean, my goodness, 250, you guys are making me sweat. So it's easy to just, have a not so great reaction here and there. It's just going to happen by default. Every reactor is going to miss the mark at some points, and reactions themselves are, a gamble to invest the time into. But anyhow, and with being a YouTuber, another interesting thing is, there's kind of there exists a kind of natural draw to try and just kind of be like the top YouTubers. But as much as the top YouTubers are, you know, kind of the role models to be, in a sense, everybody is trying to be like them. I think people should also be like the underdogs. Shush, stomach. Interrupts too often. I think people should also look up to the lesser channels as well. But anyhow, some my mind's just going all over topics. What was the other thing? I kind of went off on one rabbit trail, and I was thinking a different one as well. Dang it. Reaction being a gamble, and then I talked about influence. The other thing was subscribers. That's the other thing I was going to talk about it below here, but I don't want to forget it. That's the other thing. There's this natural draw to just, you know, try and aim to amass as many subscribers as possible, and there's these natural tendencies to want to, you know, try this or try that, and you're trying to stand out and be unique, and you know, people compromise in certain ways. I don't really want to compromise on certain things, but anyhow, yeah, let's get into some of the details. So 250 subscribers, that is very impressive. That is 1/40th of what the top reactors have in subscribers. We have amassed 1 out of 40 of the top reactors, what they have. That is very impressive to me. It would be neat if we could make it 1 in 20 eventually, but 1 in 40, that is pretty darn good. That is satisfying. I'm completely satisfied with where things are at. So 150 folks are new since the last milestone of 100. More people are new than not. So, you know, 150% increase. And around 50 were just in the past month or so, due to my 2 reaction bundles that came out, bundle 1 of One Piece and bundle 1 of Hunter x Hunter. Absolutely amazing passion from those fan bases. Amazing. So it took 148 days to go from 100 to 250. And you know, with all the reacting stuff, it's a lot of toil. All the recording, editing fields, uploading, keeping track of every single thing. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. One video I lost somehow, and I gotta redo that video, but it is what it is. So yeah, with reacting, it wears you down so easy. I'm gonna need breaks more often. And honestly, it is really nice to take a break and to be able to work on different things and different projects here and there as well. But it's a lot. If I was, you know, 5-10 years younger, I think it would be a bit easier on me, but it is what it is. So, but hopefully we can keep the steam going, keep the steam train going. But yeah, so we got 250 in the Cool Clan, 250 Animaniacs. So that was milestone 5. Now milestone 6 will be double that, 500. So we must somehow gain, in addition to what we have, that same quantity, 250. Do you think we can reach it? how on earth could we reach it? It would probably, you know, take at least the second year of just reacting like a madman with all the toil in the world. You know, I'm not going to even focus or think of 250. That's where things went wrong with some content, because I thought of 250 when we weren't there yet. So, and that's referring to Gias and Fairy Tale and other stuff. Gias R2 and Fairy Tale Bundle 4. So I'm not going to focus on 500. I'm not going to think about 500. I'm satisfied with 250. Honestly satisfied. It came about faster than I expected it because of that 1 month. Jeez. So I will just be me, and if folks want to tag along and watch reactions or watch anime together, that's totally awesome as friends. That's fine with me. So I'm not going to think about 500. I'm not going to think about how to get that many. We're just going to continue on our random path of whatever I choose next. And with comments, you know, it's going to reach just an insane point. You know, one would, as a content creator, one would want to reply to all, but I can't. And then there gets to be so many. I'm just focusing on creating content, and then there's so many comments that I get spooked about how many there are. So then I don't want to look at all of them, but it, you know, it's just a dumb fear thing. Because it's so vulnerable. Anybody could nitpick at anything, you know. So it is what it is. So yeah, with comments, I can't get to everything. I would want to reply to everyone, but I gotta, you know, I guess cherry pick from now on, because I've probably got 75 to 100 to get to right now. I've waited over a month. And with just titling some videos, I apologize for that. You know, sometimes I just can't resist because I get kind of excited about it. And then I don't get to the video in time to comment fast, which is what I would want to do if I wanted to, you know, instead of put some sort of title description thing for the video, instead, and put it in the comments. I just get to it later on, so that don't work. So I don't mean to ever be spoilery with titling videos. You know, having a little addition onto there. Another thing is, you know, the stuff with Gias and Fairy Tale. Gias R2 and Fairy Tale Bundle 4. The release of those are now in progress. I don't know if I covered absolutely everything I needed to, but I covered most things. It is what it is. You know, I took the time to make a second version, so one version is uncensored and one version is censored. A different video has the details to partake of them, the uncensored ones, and then you know, I'm having the unfixed, you know, be available. Then I will dish out the fixed version at some point later on. We'll continue like that, one by one. You know, it is what it is. I'm sorry I recorded them how I did, and you know, that I sought to get to 250 faster, and then I just made stuff worse with what I'm going to be able to have on the channel of those and other things as well. But we just got to simply move on with them and dish them out, or else they're just going to sit there forever. You know, I still hope folks enjoy them, whichever version they see. It's just with the censored version, you're just not going to get the audio of me. I had to cut the audio of me and any words or commentary I wanted to insert because of other audio stuff. So I hope to have the next Geass and Fairy versions ready for Sunday, at least the one kind. I'm worried about keeping track of all that kind of chaos, and more so losing track amidst all the other reaction type stuff. So we'll just have to see. And then, you know, having reacted for, you know, probably a year and a half now, but at least, yeah, vlogging over a year and reacting for a year and a half or so. I wanted to do a mini series on just some little brief tips about it, but quite simply, you know, I don't really, you know, have a world of time to do that. But, you know, I guess one brief advice is, you know, don't focus on any thumbs down. Don't focus on any negative comments. Don't focus on what you messed up or botched. Don't think about those things, but the vice versa. Focus on the good. You know, and another thing, always plow ahead, but at a steady pace. Steady pace. You know, don't go crazy, huge quantities of content. That'll just turn you into a zombie. I did that before, and that was stupid. But you know, it was a lot of toil. So, you know, and don't let certain things hold weight, I guess, would be another one. You know, all certain negatives. Just create content for those who may be interested, and you'll just have to see the response. You know, I would say never quit, never give up on it, but that has to be kind of contingent on, you know, whether or not how much people respond to your efforts and toils. If they don't respond enough, that's something you'll have to judge by yourself. But if they don't respond enough to your efforts, it would be wise to move on to something else, really. You know, I might even have to do that at some point and put my time elsewhere. If people respond really well to it, you know, then that means you're onto something. You know, there's also supply and demand. Those are indicators as well that there's demand if there's a response, a big response. You know, and I guess that tackles that topic, but there's a lot of decent progress behind the scenes as usual. I'm actually have recorded more than I have outputted, so my computer's getting bogged down from the storage space, and I've got the an external one that's getting full, so I don't know, we might have to take it slower for a while or something. It gets tricky. So, and then on the topic of me reacting to and publishing an ongoing anime, that's just not our style. That's just not how I roll. I can understand it would be much more of a response to it because it's all in the heat of the moment. Everybody's just flooding to those. But for me, it would be too much hassle. It's just too much hassle. I was sleepy. I responded to someone falsely that it's just my internet, that I don't do that. My internet's horrible. No, that was stupid. I was sleepy, okay? It's quite simply, it would be just too much hassle. While I may record an ongoing anime, I prefer to do a bundle type method. I like to get it all done and then, do all the editing, upload the sucker, edit everything and then schedule it all out. I like a consistency. I don't like having to come back to certain things and all that. So that's what I prefer. I would absolutely hate, and it's just illogical for me to ponder individually working on singular videos at a time. I'd rather do everything in bundles. I can understand reacting to one video at a time of a certain series, but it doesn't work for me with the rest. It takes up a world of time as is, let alone having to think to keep coming back and edit everything one video by one video instead of all the videos, and have everything prepped and scheduled out after it's all uploaded. So I like bundles. I like to be on top of them. So, and then there's the topic of YouTube. If you aren't aware, there's a lot of problems with YouTube going on, and it's only going to get way worse. YouTube is going downhill. There's a boatload of censorship issues going on. And then there was the advertisers that pulled out. I think it was Pepsi and Coca-Cola, which wreaked havoc on everyone trying to make it as a vlogger. I don't know. I probably only earn 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, maybe even 1/5 of what I would. I don't know. But it sure did not help anyone. I've heard, people have gone down, whatever, 20 to 80% of their ad revenue is tanked. So ultimately, everyone is going to need to be, well, there needs to be an alternative to YouTube that is pro free speech and no garbage censorship. And people also need to be able to be independent of YouTube. So like for however much time is left with YouTube for YouTubers, to be able to have the videos on here, but to link back to one's own website or something. We're gonna eventually need, if we're gonna just continue on with this reacting stuff, we're gonna need our own website or fan website, one of the two. So it is just a bunch of stupid stuff. YouTubers, the reason why people come to YouTube, they're searching, they want alternative, it's all about alternative media. We've created alternative entertainment, and now YouTube is doing a bunch of garbage. Censorship, they're bringing in the old forms of media, and they're going to eventually replace us. They're going to eventually replace the YouTubers themselves. YouTube is backstabbing YouTubers. We're being thrown under the bus over time. There's a boatload of stuff going on. If I say certain words, this video will be demonetized. It's just a bunch of garbage. But anyhow, I do have a donate now, which I would really like to mention. I do have a donate for folks who can do whatever the case, $1 a month to support whatever. You know, the link will always be in the descriptions of reactions and on my page. So unless it's me in a video, do not trust anything but that donate link. Don't get scammed. You know, every YouTuber is gonna need support outside of the system, and if we're not, earning enough from our time and toils, it just don't make sense. I hope there's a good alternative to YouTube that really picks up. I've heard of VidMe and obviously what's that other one? Twitch. So we'll have to look into those over time. But as is here, as content creators, I think certain things could be easier and simplified. Like with stupid playlists, if I add to the playlist, it doesn't like auto detect really simple things to add it in order. It adds it in the opposite order, so I have to correct every single playlist I make. It's just bonkers. And every video I put in a playlist. So we're just kind of being tossed under the bus, it feels like and seems like. All the old media is infiltrating YouTube. There's a boatload of garbage going to be pushed, so we're being pushed out of YouTube, and a new YouTube is forming. And it does not reflect the old YouTube. Just content creators trying to do what they do. But I'm still passionate about reacting to anime. So for the time being, I'll continue on with it. Who knows for how long? Someday that could change. I've pursued this to my absolute limits. But reaching, where we have to reach, it keeps being a different estimate. What would make it worthwhile reaching is physically impossible, probably. Very, very probably. Like the newest estimate I ran is that I'm at, like 1/50th of where I'd like to be at. So essentially, I'd have to be a top anime reactor, showing all the footage and having the audio to be where I'd want to be, which we've made it fair and square, the 250. So even that estimate, being one of the very, very top reactors, being at whatever 10,000 or 12,500 subs, that's mission impossible. So we may have to give up vlogging at some point, but for now we'll carry on with everything we got. Every ounce of energy I have left for reacting, we will continue on. Another thing is, another topic is, you know, certain clean content in a sense. I didn't want to ever run into certain things in anime. You know, I think we should be a. So I got angry when we did. I've gotten angry when we have ran into certain things sometimes, or so I kind of just try and downplay it in a goofy sense more so now. But you know, one of my concerns was being a good influence in case there was a younger individual who tags along and watches the reaction or whatever. You know, because I don't know. Like, if there were to be a 13-year-old or whatever, I would hate to have been, you know, a minor bad influence instance or whatever, and accidentally throw them under the bus somehow. So, but most of my viewers are in their 20s and 30s, so I don't have quite the same worry, but you know, still we should set a standard and be a good influence on other people. You know, it is what it is. I had thought of something to say there, something extra to say there, but I lost it. You know, some things I'm really observant about, and then some things, you know, just kind of, it depends. And reactions even depend on what mood I'm in. If I'm in a certain mood, it might help or go against a reaction. If I'm in a sad mood, then that'll amplify a tearjerker, obviously. And if you're in like a action-packed, hyped up, ramped up mood, that'll certainly help. If you're watching a total action anime episode, so it just is what it is. So yeah, with the clean content like stuff, you know, we've run into certain things in some anime. You know, I don't necessarily agree with those things. I think those things could have gone about different, but I understand. You know, but anyhow, another thing is another topic. Yeah, I don't want to ramble about that anymore. It's kind of a tricky topic. Another topic is me talking less during the reaction. Very simple solution I have for everyone. If you don't want my commentary when I want to try and talk, you know, I try and talk when nobody else is saying something, or I try and slip it in there, you know. But a very simple solution, you can just mute me to your heart's content. I'm not saying that in an angry way. I'm saying that in a completely neutral way. It's an option available to anyone. You can mute me however much you want, and I will talk when I want to. That's just how it is. Whatever I naturally want to say, I'm going to say at the time. So, and then I had an idea. I like the idea of reacting to some of my own reactions, but it's just an idea. It might not be the greatest thing, and I don't have the time. I have watched some of my own reactions, and that was some good stuff with, you know, the Gyasr 2 and the Fairy Tail Bundle 4. That was some fun stuff to watch because I had to modify them. I also watched the unedited versions. Those were neat. I love those big moments where I just react. I'll say okay because I don't want to hype. I don't want to overhype. It's not good to overhype something. And then another idea I had was I want to kind of replace live commentary, or just change it going forward. I want live commentary, you know, I like the idea to rename live commentary, or, you know, non-blind reactions, to live re-reaction. So there's never any more confusion about that. People have been confused about that time and time again. This would settle it. So a re-reaction, it's obvious. It's obvious what it is. And then a live reaction, people know. I guess people can see my crazy here. Now it's tame. Now it's perfectly tame. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. It was all everywhere after the shower. I went crazy with the towel, and then I just left it. I didn't do anything else. And now we're kind of like wrapping up, so it won't be much longer. You know, kind of going forward from here, Fairy Tale Bundle 5 has begun in terms of reaction, you know. My current thought is I'd like to keep a Fairy Tale focus ongoing to finish it off, because we're into One Piece and Hunter x Hunter as well, and those are three long anime. So I'd like to knock Fairy Tale out and be done with it, but I don't want to rush it either. I very much want to enjoy the ride, Fairy Tale, episode by episode, nice slow pace. So I intend to keep it at a slow pace, but at the same time, I want to keep a focus on it, you know, from where I'm at until we finish it off. I want to keep a focus on it. And that will allow me to, well, after I deal with the other things and finishing off Fairy Tale, that'll help us be able to more so focus on Hunter x Hunter, and then whatever the case. Also, finishing off what we're currently delved in would help us focus more on Hunter x Hunter, because I believe Hunter x Hunter has the next bundle of 25 all dubbed out and available. You know, I'd almost like to do a Hunter x Hunter intermission video, even though I don't have that much to say. I would just kind of say the same type of stuff. You know, Hisoka seems to be running the show. Hisoka is kind of, probably by the time I start the second bundle, Hisoka will have become my favorite character. He seems to, no pun, but he seems to be holding all the cards. So there's something definitely up with him. Him and Gon. Him and Gon. There's something going on. Definitely. We got massive hints of that. But anyhow. Well, no spoilers. Jeez. Nice. Just toss spoilers in here. Anyhow. You know, it's crazy difficult for me to keep track of the anime I'm going through and have gone through, let alone be updating an account of some sort as well. But I've got the account, I've got most of it down pat. I've just got to link that. My ultimate goal would be to have everything I've seen, you know, reacted to on the channel as well, so people know, and then that would eventually run out, and I'd only have, you know, blind live reactions moving forward. That would be a great thing, but that would take a long dang time as it is. I'm amazed, actually, but I'm trying to always have a good mix, but it's always kind of random, ongoing, whatever I choose. So I'm not gonna. Somebody said my anime list account. It's not gonna be that one. I like a different website. But that settles that. I'll still link it eventually, I think. But I don't want people to know what I'm into in terms of recordings of what's next. That's not fair. I want to keep that stuff secret. So we'll see. Plus a world of comments await. As I said before, I'm so behind on comments. It's bonkers. I'm also pondering how to fix the timer. It may be impossible. I tried to figure something out last night. But just go based upon the YouTube video itself. Reactions begin at 0 seconds. You know, it's as roughly as close as I can get it every time, you know. Otherwise I restart, and you know, after however many seconds, if it's not lined up enough, I restart. So it's as close as I can do. So, and just quite frankly, reacting is a boatload more effort and toil than people think. That's the story. And I've got some uploads I get to do, you know, really recent, soon enough, and that will give me some time away from reactions, so I'm going to enjoy that as well. Another thing people need to realize with reacting means you're reacting, so you're, for the most part, giving up watching reactions because you're creating the content. You're not consuming the content, you're creating the content. So for the most part, you have to give up you know, watching other reactors, or else you could get huge spoilers from the thumbnails or titles or anything. So it just is what it is. Holy heck, we've been talking for a long time. Impressive. Well, there are 250 of you now, so good job. So once again, to wrap it up, I guess, just quite simply, thank you very much. Thank you very much for choosing me, my content, my videos, my reactions. Absolutely awesome. Very passionate, very passionate. Thank you. Very, very good stuff. So, a lot of passionate anime fans. Hopefully, eventually, the Boku no Hero Academia Season 2 and Attack on Titan Season 2 reactions will be decent. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see about that. Those are ongoing. So hopefully those will be good. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching, and I guess alrighty, that's the end. Yeah, thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned for what's next. That's the thing, I have to choose what's next as well. I have to choose from one of the things that are available to dish out. I have to choose, and I have to prep it fast. So that's going to be interesting. So thank you very much. 250 subscribers. Woo! Woo! Yeah! We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. And stay passionate about anime. Stay passionate about anime. It's good stuff. So, I will see you up ahead. 250 subscribers. Animaniacs in the Cool Clan. So let's continue on. I will see you up ahead. Take her cool.